Um, so I just don't really know how to feel about being 20 years old. Um, it's just like so many different emotions at once, and like one minute I am so excited to be starting my senior year of college and so ready to move on to the next stage of my life after college. There's so many things that I want to do, so many things I'm imagining my life could be like. And then the next minute, I feel like I'm still clinging on to this sense of childhood that's kind of slipping away more and more every day. I guess I just wanted to know that I'm not the only one that feels like this, that I'm not crazy or something, that I'm not the only one that can't really figure out exactly why this age is so uncertain, or why kind of being in this transitional period just feels so unsteady and kind of terrifying.
Everything about the future scares me.
The future is what scares me about the future. Yeah, not knowing anything.
I guess just not knowing anything about it, not knowing where I'll live, not knowing when or if I'll get married one day, like just the fact that it's so wide open.
What scares me is, like, what am I gonna do to make myself happy, I guess? Because it's like I'll be in charge of, like, where I live and what I do with my career or whatever, and I just don't know if what I'm doing right now is what I want to do for the rest of my life, so that's what sort of scares me the most.
Nothing scares me more than what is to come, because nobody knows what it is, and like, will I be able? And what I'm doing to like pay my bills, is that going to be my life? Is like, am I still going to be able to achieve dreams and aspirations?
Sometimes.
No.
Can I say yes and no?
No.
No. Not yet. Get in there.
Sometimes, but not fully there yet. I don't feel like a child, but I don't feel like an adult.
Why do I not feel like an adult or a kid? Why I'm in a middle ground? That's a good question. I think it's because like I'm not really truly on my own.
I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm transitioning between childhood and adulthood. So I still have elements of my childhood in me, and I still feel dependent on my parents, and I still kind of approach life as a kid sometimes, but then also there are these expectations to the things that I should be doing.
I don't feel like I'm quite at that point yet where like I can say that like I have like my life together, and like I feel like like a lot of adults really do. They understand where they need to go in life, and they've like made it to that point. And like yes, they can keep learning, but like I haven't quite made it to that point yet.
Being a college kid, you're the middle ground, because the whole point of college is, it's if you're lucky and privileged enough to be go to college, it's kind of, society is allowing you to transition from becoming a kid to an adult. So it's more of a transformation process. And so in that you'll get both sides of it. But at the same time, you won't be a kid or an adult. So it's hard, you can't define yourself by either term.
I guess I would say that's a big question. Pressures, like, I guess I would just say like,
So many pressures.
I feel a lot of pressure to know exactly what I need to be doing with my life.
I feel pressure to know what I'm doing after I graduate. It's always kind of been a question on my mind, something that I've thought about, but lately it's become people asking me for real. Not just saying, oh, like, what do you think you're gonna do in a few years, but saying, so, where do you wanna live next year, a year from now when you graduate? And that's kind of scary.
Mainly just the pressure to make a life for myself is like the biggest pressure, and it's like, how do I do that? Like, what do I want to do with my future? And then it's just like everything is just a lot of pressure.
The pressure to succeed, because as a 20-year-old, everything, society, teachers, parents, classes, has been like, this is your time to define yourself, find what you want to do. You have to do it right, and you only get one chance.
I feel like the biggest pressure is like, what is expected of you versus what you want to do.
I'm still really unsure of where I want to go career-wise. I have a bunch of different interests that I love, but I haven't been able to narrow down to a direct career path, and that's been really stressful on me for the amount of pressure that I put on myself and the amount of pressure that I feel others are putting on me because of their expectations, whether intentionally or unintentionally.
I have no idea what I want to do when I get out of college, and like, that's kind of a pressure where I should like pursue something that's actually going to get me a job and stuff, or if I want to do something that I'm really going to love, which is probably what I am going to do, but who knows.
So when I first started college, I was really, really excited. I knew that it was my first time being really independent and not having to rely on anybody else for the most part. When I got there, I was so excited, and I moved in, and my whole family came with me, and then they left, and it just kind of hit me, and I just laid on my bed and cried for like 20 minutes. It was very overwhelming, like for the very first time feeling like that, and like realizing my parents weren't right there for me to run to if I needed anything.
When I was in junior year of high school, the thought of going to college was so scary to me that I just didn't want to go. And my parents would try and take me to college visits and have me do some research on the different universities that I was applying to, and I just didn't want to have any of it. And I got so scared that I basically had convinced myself that I wanted to go into the Army. I thought of college as something very temporary, and I guess that was kind of a coping mechanism because I really didn't want to let go of who I was in high school and the life that I was living in high school. So my freshman year, I guess I was almost in denial that I was actually in college, and throughout my sophomore and junior year I kind of let go of that possibility that college was only temporary and that I could use the military as an escape from me being scared to live on my own and function independently.
I would say I don't really think I had that many feelings approaching college, because my parents never went to college, so I didn't know anything about college, because no one told me anything about college. I guess I was excited.
So I was homeschooled before high school, and so I think that high school was like socially like helps me mature a lot more, but like college I think like academically helped me mature at a faster pace. So I think like they were different, just like because like before high school I like wasn't even like really around other people or like people my age very much.
I came into college with, again, I didn't come from a rich family or a rich town, but I still came into college with the social stigma that I have to go to college, even though my parents didn't, and I'm a first generation college student. There's still that, from my teachers, it's just, you're a smart kid, you have to go to college, you have to make something of yourself. And I came into college with the mentality that it's something I have to do. And then, yeah, coming in, then it just became like I have to find my own path. And yeah, I'm lucky I'm here, but the same reasons I chose to go to college aren't the same reasons I'm here now, and aren't the same reasons that are motivating me like day to day.
Starting college, I was really, really nervous, and now I'm like, just like looking back on those times, I realized that was kind of dumb. Like I was just thinking about like how like senior year in high school, I'm just like, oh my god, like how am I gonna make friends? Like how am I gonna live in dorms? Like, and it's just like as soon as you get there, it's like none of that really matters because everybody's in the same situation.
I always feel unprepared. That's like, doesn't matter what I have or have not done. It doesn't matter that I went to like a nice prep school or whatever, and that like, don't worry, we've super adequately prepared you. You never feel prepared.
So, as I'm approaching graduation, I also don't want to leave, just like I didn't want to in high school. But having that experience under my belt already has me looking forward to the other opportunities that I can experience after graduation. Probably equally as scary, going out into the workforce and having no idea what I want to do with my life, but exciting in a way that I know is going to help me grow.
I am excited to graduate because I think that like after taking advantage of all of the resources at Skidmore College, that like I can finally use them. It's not like I'm just sitting in class and like listening to like interesting topics and like having like small internships on the side. It's like I actually get to like create my own career out of that. And I know that like some people like don't have that chance because like they don't go to college, they don't go to like such a good college. But like I'm excited to like have my own kind of a life and not like always be dependent on like the school to offer me things.
Being able to hopefully do what I want and sort of like, I guess what would be scary is if I don't have the means to do what I want, but what excites me is like the fact that maybe like I'll be able to earn the money or whatever that I need to get myself in a position where I can like travel or whatever I want to do, like be independent and go do the things that like I've wanted to do my whole life.
The wide openness of my future, like it is terrifying, because it's going to be one of those things where I make all the decisions and, you know, I don't know, am I going to sink or swim kind of thing, but having the possibility to choose everything for myself and make my future exactly what I want it to be, is really cool. Living somewhere where I feel really comfortable, where I feel really myself, is very exciting to me, and like having independence is very exciting to me.
One thing that excites me is, I guess this is the maybe naive, optimistic part of myself that believes that I will have everything figured out. I'll be a way better put together, decent human being in the future than I am now. So being able to be proud of myself, even if it's not right now, but in the future, like being able to be that I'll get there, like no matter how many mistakes I've made, and that I'll keep making, that there will come a point where I will be the person I've desired to be.
I guess there are a lot of things about the future that scare me. Mostly because when I was younger, I didn't really think a lot about my future. And maybe because the future that everyone was kind of imagining that I should have wasn't the future that I really wanted. So growing up as gay, I really couldn't picture myself marrying a man and having kids. So I never really had the opportunity, or I never had the desire to really think about what was going to happen after high school, because I had no idea what was going to happen after high school. So now being open about my sexuality and having the future come a lot faster than I like to think it is, I'm thinking about those possibilities now, about getting married, having kids, what kind of job that I want to get, where I want to live.
Just the fact that it's so wide open, and at the same time, having a wide open future is an amazing thing, but terrifying. So just the mysteriousness of it, I guess, is what really scares me.
Graduating from college is something that gives me anxiety and fear, and I don't like to think about it, but I have to think about it because it's just a deadline. And I know everyone's like graduating, move on to the next big thing, and but when you don't know for sure what you want to do with your life, or don't know like if you're able to do what you want to do, it's scary.
I am scared that I will not make as many friends as I will inside of college, because it's so easy to do it when like everybody is also young and whatever, and like you're obviously going to make friends with people that like you live with and everything, and like it's way easier, more accessible to do it inside of that bubble, I guess. But like when you're outside of college and like you're at a job, it's just like I don't feel that stressed about it. Like I feel like it's going to happen if it happens, whatever. Like I feel like I'll meet new people probably, but like I don't know, it's always scary to think that you won't.
I guess I feel like my parents are very successful because like they both have good jobs. They're like super happy with their home. They have a very happy marriage. And they have kids that they're proud of, and like that's like all of that is very important. And like I'm worried, well, yeah, like I guess I'm worried like that's not gonna, like that I would have to like move into that, and like I'm not at that stage yet, so I'm kind of like, oh no, you know, maybe it might not happen, like I might not hit that point, like I might not leave like the kind of like time and place that I am right now, like not move on to that like adult, like everything's like happy and like you have like your life under control kind of thing.
Look at all of these variables and worries and things that may or may not happen, and yeah, it's been done a million times before by millions and millions and millions and millions and billions and of people over thousands and thousands and thousands of years, but I am that special goddamn snowflake, and everybody thinks that because it's the paradox of snowflakes. They're all unique, right? And they all fall their unique flights down from the clouds. And yeah, chances are somebody's done that exact same path before you, but that one snowflake hasn't done it. And who knows if you're gonna hit the ground or not.
transformational. That's the first word that comes to my mind. Yeah.
Wide open, I think.
Apprehensive.
Scary.
I would say fluctuating. That is the word I would use.
Uncertain.